back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip, and today we're going to be giving you guys a video about some of the biggest haters in the cryptocurrency space, why I believe that they are wrong, what makes them so wrong, and what specifically you need to look out for to keep you in that bullish mind frame. Now, the markets have been going down, and the cryptocurrency market cap is currently sitting around 1.2 trillion, which is lower than we used to have it. We almost hit $3 trillion for a cryptocurrency market cap. And to put that into perspective for you, the market cap of gold is over 10 trillion. So not a small asset cryptocurrency, but not as big as gold yet. But one day we could get there. And what's the path to that? Let's dive a little bit into that in this video, guys. Without further ado, let's dive into the chart. So today, let's just take a peek at what we've done so far here in crypto. So right now we have kind of made our way down here. In 2021, we rode up, came back down, had another, what some people consider as a dead cat bounce at the end of 2022, at the beginning of 2022, excuse me. And now we're kind of coming back down. We're bouncing right around that $1.2 trillion floor price, and I think we're gonna have another bounce, and we could see some further momentum down potentially, but we are holding a really good floor. If you look at the last 3 months, you can see we kind of came down, sell in May and walk away, they say. So some people sold in May and walked away right here, but we are seeing over the last month that we're starting to kind of form a floor. And it is really sitting at a overall market cap for crypto as a whole of $1.25 trillion, which is exciting to see. And we're starting to come back up potentially a little bit because this is a very important level for cryptocurrencies. Now, guys, there's a lot of bearish news, right? Inflation's going wild. Your groceries are costing more money. The world is kind of on, it's kind of on tilt, right? You've got wars breaking out. You've got politicians on both sides of the aisle speaking blasphemy, or a lot of people perceive it as that. You know, it's very intense. You had COVID lockdowns, so people are just uneasy right now. And you got a lot of people with a very pessimistic view of not only cryptocurrency, but the markets as a whole. So the fact that we're holding a floor like this right now, to me, is very optimistic. I mean, the last 7 days alone, you can just see we've really been floating and holding. I mean, 28K, 30K Bitcoin, that $1.25 trillion mark for the market cap is holding decent right now for us. So that's pretty exciting to see. Now, we do have some haters out there in the crypto space, which I want to highlight for you. And I want you guys to start thinking, well, what do these guys have in common? Okay, so Lagarde. So this lady right here is huge in the World Financial Forum, let's say. She is very involved with the banks, and she says crypto is worth nothing. She is the European Central Bank president, Christine Lagarde, and she says that cryptocurrencies are based on nothing and should be regulated to steer people away from speculating on them with their life savings. Now, here's what I want you guys to do. First of all, we're not putting all the money that we own into cryptocurrency, right? You got to diversify. You got to have cash on the sidelines. And if you were going to put a large portion in, excuse me, you might want to go towards a coin like Bitcoin or Ethereum. But again, we want to not invest more than we're willing to lose. That's kind of rule number one. So you got to keep that in mind. And if you want to regulate it, I understand that, but we don't want to make it inaccessible, okay? So there's a difference there, and part of me believes that somebody like her kind of just really doesn't like it, and it's more of a risk to the central banks. The central banks are scared of cryptocurrency because the way that they've been operating, they haven't really had any major competition. Now, all of a sudden, cryptocurrency and decentralized finance doesn't let them have it all under the same umbrella, right? We're not trying to replace the traditional systems. We're just trying to supplement them and add to them and give people other opportunities and kind of open up the world and borders to everybody, to your average person, to somebody in Africa, right, who wants to send some money, right? It could be anything, right? So this is Lagarde. She's, over 70 years old, gray hair, glasses. Here's another couple guys with gray hair and glasses. You know him, is Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. wouldn't pay $25 for all the Bitcoin in the world, which is frankly the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it's funny because they're blasting it as stupid. I mean, $25 for all the Bitcoin in the world. Who wouldn't take that deal? I mean, like that's blasphemy, and that's discrediting him, in my opinion. What these people have in common is they all have white hair and glasses, and they're out of touch. They're old folks, and that's one thing you got with not only markets and banking. You even got governments, right? I mean, it's a lot of gray-haired folks, and that's why we see such a disconnect and such wild things happening in the Putin's got gray hair, right? Everybody's got gray hair. Trump and Biden and you name them, it doesn't matter who they are, what they're doing. These gray hairs are a little bit out of touch, right? We need leaders, yes. These people have a whole world of experience, right? They've been around for 7 years, but we need some new folks on the forefront here, and we need some new things to come to the stage, because if we keep going in the same direction, what we're doing right now isn't sustainable in terms of the way that we're treating each other, the politics, the banking that's going on, the inflation, the printing of money that's going on, really unsustainable. But you got a couple of these guys again that you're calling it stupid and evil. Well, a lot of people would challenge the banks and say that the banks are stupid and evil. I mean, you can't even get a good interest rate in a bank right now. When you go to DeFi, you can get 100% returns. Now, those aren't permanent, but you can easily get a 4%, 2%, 1% return easily, and you don't have to go over to bonds or anything like that. And most people don't even know what bonds are. It's not commonsensical. In my opinion, it's a very strange thing in the first place. Now, they make sense for some people, right? But you don't want to put all your money in bonds. You don't want to put all your money in these things, right? They're starting to make less and less sense as time goes on, and we need new things to come along. And people like this saying that the new thing that's coming along is stupid is frankly ignorant, right? So, again, Bill Gates, white hair, glasses, doesn't own any cryptocurrency because it isn't adding to society. These claims that they're making, guys, are out of control. These claims that they're making are blanketing statements which are inaccurate and hold no research. Because, guys, cryptocurrency absolutely adds to society. And here's my case. Bitcoin and the remittance industry. There are so many people that are working in America, that have families in South America, that have countries, family in Venezuela, you name it, across the world, in Africa. They're working hard and they're trying to send remittances to their family. But the current way that they need to send those through a wire transfer or traditional systems is wildly expensive. With Bitcoin, you can send $100. You can send a couple $1 million for pennies on the dollar. You're very low cost to do it. And for somebody to say that, like Bill Gates, that it's not adding to society, well, point number one, you're wrong. There's a lot of people that need to send remittances to their families, and crypto and Bitcoin is a great way to do it. Now, there's specific projects outside of Bitcoin that are specific to that are being worked on, that have been being worked on, that are existing and people are using today. And I think we're going to continue to do that. There's a coin called Telcoin. It's been around since 2016 and even earlier. They've been working on that specifically. Bitcoin is obviously the biggest, but there's so many. And then you can get into just sending crypto via just a transaction. Really, any crypto with a low transaction rate is a better option than a lot of wire transfers in many cases. So point number one, remittances are huge. And there is so according to a report from 2019, the cross-border remittances in the low and middle income countries were as high as 550 billion. So it's a lot of money. That is a lot of money that is getting passed around. And if you find, so with the financial infrastructure we currently have, you'll find that over 5% to 9.3% of taxes are divided on a $200 remittance on average. So these are ridiculous taxes. It's unbelievable. And for somebody to come out like Bill Gates or these other folks and say that they're, it's worthless and they wouldn't pay, it's hearsay. I mean, it's out of control. Another point. California considers approving campaign donations for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin campaign donations, guys. Why is this important? Well, one, it's another opportunity for politicians to get money, which they want, right? But that's not really what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is transparency from where that money's coming. And that's what you should be concerned about too. Now, whether or not you believe that a election process is rigged, scam, whatever, and I'm not making that case by any means right now, but wouldn't it be nice if all the funds that were donated to a campaign, period, no matter, what the situation is, wouldn't it be nice if those funds were accounted for? We know who they're coming from. We know who donated how much because it's verified on the blockchain, on a ledger by an identified person, right? We want know your customer. We do want KYC because we want to be able to see things like this. We want regulation to come in place. We don't want to escape regulation. We want Bitcoin to be regulated so that it can be considered for campaign donations, so that when these large companies, the pharmaceutical companies and the company here and there, the banks start to do these donations, the oil companies, the gun companies, to these campaigns, we can see who's donating, where the money's coming from, and then we can really understand kind of who's getting elected and why. And you know what? That will change the way that we vote potentially, and potentially could help us for the better. We want to be educated as voters, and you got to be educated on where the money's coming from. And right now, I really just don't feel like we are. You can get some of that information, but it's a little bit shady. And if you had everything on a blockchain, that could improve society. That could improve the voting process. Bill Gates, this is adding to society, my friend, and you are not seeing the big picture. So that's another thing, guys. And lastly, the financialization of everything, DeFi, the next era of financial services. There are many misconceptions about DeFi, guys, decentralized finance, and the most important is that it wants to replace traditional finance. That is a misconception. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I don't know why the powers that be are so scared. I think it's a threat. I think they're greedy. I think they want it all. For them to shut the door on something new and new technology coming along is just frankly ignorant. And DeFi and crypto is just something to supplement the existing services that we have, right? For a small business owner to get a loan from a bank, it's not that easy, and the loans aren't that great. The rates aren't awesome. But with DeFi, you can go get a loan. Now, is it risky? Crypto's a little bit risky, so it can be risky in that sense. But if you know what you're doing and you want to take that risk because you believe in what you're trying to get a loan for, to start your business, to invest in this thing, to do that or the other, then DeFi is huge, and it can actually spark a lot of great things, and it can get a lot of new smaller businesses that might not be able to get that loan from the bank to get started and and that'll add to society, that'll add to the economy, that'll create jobs, that'll create new taxable events even for the government, right? And it'll help create a whole new world of business owners that might not have been able to do so through a traditional banking system. So, if Bill Gates can't see that, then, maybe he needs a new set of glasses. And so does Warren Buffett, because if these guys can't see that there is a market for this and that there is an opportunity, then, they're out of touch and their day in the sun is over. Lagarde, who's with the banking system, you know what? If she thinks it's worth nothing, then why don't you do us a favor, Lagarde, and work with the European banks and work with the rest of the banks across the world, because we know you have the connections, and help us out and give us a better banking system, because the banking system does not work for everybody, and that's just a fact. And with cryptocurrency, we have an opportunity for good donations. We have an opportunity to have a more affordable remittance industry, and we have an opportunity for the financialization of everything, DeFi, allowing you to get a loan on your money, allowing you to access interest rates that the banks aren't giving you, guys. Bitcoin is going down right now. We're currently sitting at a price of $29,000. Ethereum's below $2,000. I am aggressively dollar cost averaging because I believe in something. Do you? That's all I got in today's video, guys. This is the Crypto Report, and I am Crypto Kip. Thanks so much for watching the channel and subscribing and liking and leaving a comment down below. If there's something I missed, if there's something that stuck with you here, please let me know in the comments down below. I do appreciate every single time that you guys tune in. I am Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. That's all we got here. And remember, guys, you got a DCA, hodl, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.